And any time I've worked with Americans, I've been quite fortunate to work with Americans. Again, I'm probably one of only a handful of people to have worked with most of the American units and organizations you would recognize. They all would probably agree that the SES is the kind of pinnacle of that. It's what everybody tries to aspire to, and there's a few reasons for that. One is we don't have anywhere near the budgets and the equipment and everything else of some of the other units like the Americans, but our soldiers, our soldiers are the best. And I would go a step further than that. Not only is our SAS have the best soldiers in the world, some of our infantry units are the best infantry units in the world. I'd put our paras and marines and even some of our other infantry units against any other infantry unit in the world. I'd pit some of our paras and marines against special forces in other countries. Such is the high level of that. And that, it leads on to that. Our SAS is so good because it recruits from that infantry bubble, which we have very good soldiers from. And so the best of those soldiers, which in itself, it's like recruiting Champions League players from the Premier League. That's what I'm talking about in terms of our infantry. Our infantry are very good soldiers, and so it's no surprise that our SES is. And having worked alongside some of the best special forces units in the world, I'm not saying it with any inherent bias, only seeing one side of it. I have a very well-rounded view of all the other best special forces units in the world, and can say with some confidence that our soldiers, not our equipment, not our capabilities, not anything else, that's a very different argument, but our soldiers, which are at the heart of that, are the best in the world.
Wow. And why exactly do you think that is? Is that a case of different level of training? Is it culture? Is it history? What is it?
Yeah, I think history will have a part to play in it. I think the training's a big side of it. We're trained to live independently off the land. We don't need backup. We can be sent on our own behind enemy lines for a couple of weeks. That's our infantry. Our infantry can do that. They're trained to such a level that they can self motivate. They can operate on their own. Whereas I think there's such a big support that comes alongside a lot of the other units that it becomes harder for them. They're not really tested on their own. They're not really, right, this is you on your own. Can you navigate? Can you navigate using the stars? Can you micro navigate in a jungle? Do you know how to source water, make shelter, create fire? Can you hunt for yourself? Can you do all that stuff if you're just on your own? And a lot of our infantry can, never mind special forces. And so when you have that level of training and ability to endure and suffer, which is becoming an increasingly less skill to have these days. You think about, and I sound about 107 when I say it, but when you see the youth of today, you think, how much can they endure and suffer under really harsh conditions, and how much will other things come into play? Because we're products of our environment. It's all about perspective. And so if this is my spectrum of very, very happy to suffering, how does that compare with somebody that has a far bigger spectrum? And so it's all about perspective and being a product of your environment.